Welcome all, and let's learn about telecommunication and networking. We are going to major on introduction to telecommunication, and I'm Joan Benter. On the introduction to communication, we have some objective to be met. That at the end of this session, you will be able to, number one, describe the definition of communication and communication process. Number two, detail the communication technology development. And our last objective is to discuss 6 elements of communication and communication systems. What is communication? Communication is the imparting, conveying, or exchange of thoughts, messages, ideas, knowledge, or information by sign and sound, like speech, signal, writing, or behavior. We've seen that basically you can say that communication is the transfer of information from sender to receiver, or receiver to sender through feedback. So we can communicate through signs, and by sign maybe you can nod your head to mean you are in agreement. You can also wave to say bye-bye, and also you can use speech, signals, or write, or the behavior. For example, in the behavior you can say, maybe when I'm talking to you and you start yawning, it will simply communicate to me that maybe you are exhausted, or you are tired, or you are hungry. So we communicate through different ways, through signs or sound. We have different types of communication model, and basically for communication to take place, the major parts should be the receiver, sender, and the message. In this picture, you see that there's a message. The message goes to be decoded. It also goes to be encoded, and we have some interference here, and it may be noise. Yeah, there are different models in communication, and these models depends on the scholars. We have Aristotle's model of communication. We also have Bellow's model of communication, Shannon and Weaver model of communication, Graham model of communication, and Helical model of communication. Maybe we'll just look on Shannon and Weaver model of communication, and you can go and do research on these other models. When we see Shannon model of communication, we see that we have information source. This is where, that's the sender of the message, the information source, where the message is coming from. And we have this message going through the transmitter, and from the transmitter the signal goes all the way to the receiver, and the receiver is where the destination is. Here we have some interference, which we say that it can be noise, where the information can be distorted. Yeah, that's the interference. So what is telecommunication? We have seen that communication is passage of information from sender to receiver, or receiver to sender, by the means of feedback. So what is telecommunication? Telecommunication simply means communication over a long distance. As the name tele means far off. So telecommunication means communication over a distance. And telecommunication refer to the transfer of data. And what is data? What is data? Data is that information, that message. So data represented by some form of electromagnetic energy, e.g. electricity, radio waves, light transmitted through media. The media may include maybe the cables, the atmosphere. You see, for the case of satellite. So that's basically what telecommunication means. And we have 6 elements of communication. And these are the people. We have the procedure, the data or information, the hardware, the software, the communication itself or the connectivity. We are going to look one by one to see what each one of them entails. And we'll start by the element of the people. These are the people where these are the user of the computer. Most important element in communication. We see that the people are the most important element in communication. They build, analyze, and develop the system. And also they operate the computer. These are the people that we are talking about, the element that makes telecommunication possible. There are 2 categories of people involved in computer and telecommunication. Number 1, we have the professional, those who have gone through specialized training in theory and technical aspect, e.g. the programmers, the computer engineers, etc. And we also have the end users. Those are who only knows how to use without special training in the field, like the clerks, the teachers. Yeah, those are the end users. So we have seen that we have two categories of the people, and they are the professionals and the end user. The professionals are the ones who are specialized in training, like the programmer, and the end user we have seen, for example, are the teachers. Number 2, the second element we are going to discuss is the procedure. And the procedure is an ordered set of tasks for performing some actions. A clear specification for sequence, timing, execution, etc. of the process. A procedure is a specification of the series of actions, acts, or operations which have to be executed in the same manner in order to obtain always the same result in same circumstance. For example, the emergency procedure. There are specific ways that they are being carried. It has a procedure. A procedure is like a sequential plan that one follows to execute something. Number 3, another element we see, the data. And data is information stored on computer system. It's used by application to accomplish some task. A representation of facts, concept, or instruction in a formalized manner suitable for communication, interpretation, or processing of human or by automated means. These are the data we are talking about. Another element, or maybe if we can still dwell on data is fundamentally any information of interest. But these days, the word data implies a binary, machine readable representation of information. Binary is a machine readable representation of information, a representation of fact or concept in an organized manner in order that it may be stored, communicated, interpreted, or processed by automated means. The data has units, and in these units we measure data through bit, byte. A byte is 8 bits. We also have kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, and terabytes. These data units have scientific or the C units. And we have for kilobyte, the standard C is 10, represented by these figures here. You can see even for megabytes, gigabytes, terabyte, petabytes. Maybe for more information you can Google or read more about the units of data. Number 4, another element, we have the hardware. These are the equipment or devices. Hardware refers to any physical object that are part of the computer system. The basic operation of a computer system are the IPOS. Computers need hardware to operate, and there are 5 categories of ICT equipment, and these are the input. The input, maybe you can say at the keyboard where you are entering your data. We have the process, the CPU. We have the output where you see through maybe the monitor. We have the storage, the RAM, ROM, and also the communication. And that it is the hardware part. Also, another element, number 5, we have the software or the program. Instruction that control the functioning of the computer. We have seen that the software are the instruction that controls the functioning of the computer. The instruction executed by a computer as opposed to the physical device on which they run. Parts of the computer that have no material form, programs, data, protocols, etc. are all softwares. When software is stored in hardware, they cannot easily be modified, such as the BIOS. It is sometimes termed firmware to indicate that it falls into an area of uncertainty between hardware and software. A collection of instructions that describe a task or set of tasks to be carried out by a computer. All these are definitions of software. Maybe in simple terms, you can say that a software are those instructions that control the functioning of a computer. Software refers to instruction that control the functioning of the computer. Instruction executed by computer as opposed to the physical device on which they run. I also say software refers to part of the computer that have no material form, e.g. like the program data, the protocol, etc. All those are software. Computer program is a collection of instruction that describes a task or set task to be carried out by a computer. Those are computer instructions. It sets task to be carried out by the computer. And we have 2 types of program. We have the system software. Those are the program that controls the computer. And we also have the application software, the programs that enable user to perform specific tasks. Maybe you can name some example of system software and application software. And the last element we see is communication. And for communication, we say transmission of data. That's electronic data, or the conversion of data from analog to digital or digital to analog. So we have seen what communication is. We have seen the elements of communication. We have also defined telecommunication, that being communication at a distance. And until then, we'll have to stop there. We'll take a break and maybe come back for continuation in our next study. Thank you.